What if the feeling of being an outsider is actually your greatest gift? I know what it's like to feel completely alone, like you're an alien floating in a world that just doesn't understand. I almost gave up on my healing journey because I thought I was too different, too broken. But the truth is, the most profound healing happens when you stop trying to fit in and start embracing the divine path that's been waiting for you all along. Are you ready to discover what's waiting for you now? That's the question that led me to create Solution Horse, a spiritual media brand dedicated to divine healing. And you've joined us for our weekly series, T.E.A.C.H.L.O.V.E, a place where we journey together to understand and embody the power of true love and healing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video created just for you. I started out when I was a kid knowing that I was special, that I was holy, that there was something different, almost like I wasn't supposed to be on this planet. I was not supposed to be on this planet. The God force was wrong to put me on this planet. I was supposed to be like an alien form. That's what I thought when I was a kid. That, because I had like these secret powers, like I liked to make people laugh, and no matter where I went in the forest, animals would be next to me and coming over me. I mean, wolves, bears and stuff, and I was never afraid of them. So I knew I wasn't supposed to be on this earth. I knew that I was supposed to be an alien because I had all these different things. But then the minutiae of life and constantly people telling you that what I was doing or what was happening to me wasn't real, and all this other bullshit BS that people tell you to try to control you. All that minutiae kept coming up, and at some point in my life, I kind of like lost almost my faith in who I was or who I thought I was, thinking that, because I knew that I had come from another realm into this earth. I knew that. But I couldn't, as a kid, I couldn't really put it into words and know exactly who I was, but now I do. It took a little longer than I expected it to, but so my past reality was that I was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer that had metastasized into my lungs and spread to thousands of places in my body. It's called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I was given literally less than a month to live. But this is what the red flag was. A doctor tells you, oh, you have less than a month to live, maybe 2 months at most. But here's a 24-month plan. Right, they give you a 24-month plan, how many rounds of chemo and how many rounds of radiation, but yet they're only giving you less than a month to live. That's like a red flag right there. Oh, you're telling me I have less than a month to live, but here's a 24-month plan. I need to do 24 rounds of chemo, I need to do 15 rounds of radiation. And I was like, So I actually didn't do that route. I actually, from a Catholic upbringing to a Christian upbringing to I literally have been every single religion possible. Been baptized as a Lutheran, as a Baptist, as a Christian, as a Catholic. I was searching for something that I could not find. But then when I was diagnosed with cancer, I found it. Because there's no religion that I believe that could ever do what the God inside me could do. Because in the Bible, it clearly says in Luke, I believe, that the kingdom of God is inside me. The kingdom of God is inside me. The kingdom of God is inside of me. The kingdom of God is inside you. And that kind of came to fruition when word through my intuition to stop chemo cold turkey, stop it cold turkey, and follow me, the essence inside me. So I did. I believe that Jesus Christ was telling us how to heal ourselves. He was looking for leaders to help heal the world. So I did end up stopping chemo cold turkey. And when I did that, my oncologist called me straight for 2 weeks, telling me that I need to come back in because I would die. And that I had to unplug my phone. Good thing I didn't give him my mobile number. I gave him my landline number, and I had to unplug it just because I didn't want to hear that almost BS. Like she had more faith in chemo than my faith in my kingdom of God within me. And every single step of the way on this journey from stopping, I was divinely directed to where I needed to go. and what I needed to do, from what foods I should eat as opposed to what foods I shouldn't eat. I ended up doing a couple of different things. One of them, I researched that, and I heard about vitamin C killing cancer cells on contact, on the high doses of vitamin C, like vitamin C IVs and vitamin C powder. And I did a lot of hydrogen peroxide IVs that also came out. So I totally went from not changing what my doctor said to going to a holistic realm, because I couldn't find what I was looking for at a medical. And I come to the realization nowadays that I don't go to I try not to go to a lot of doctors, because I was like, well, doctors only know. What they don't know, they might be killing me. And technically that was the oncologist. Her philosophy was, yeah, I'm going to tell this person that she has less than a month to live, but then I'm going to give her a 24-month plan. Well, that's a red flag. And then I was doing something that I didn't even know what they called it. And then years later, I found out they call it, Neville Goddard calls it the law of assumption. So every night before I went to bed, I would imagine the Oompa Loompas and these little people, the Oompa Loompas, stamping out all these cancer cells in my body. I mean, my oncologist said that I literally had over 7,000 cancerous tumors in my body. Because on the scans, there was so many of them. They said they stopped counting at 7,000. So that's 7,000 cancerous tumors in this body. That's a lot. And then had metastasized. So I could understand her diagnosis of less than a month to live, but I couldn't understand the plan she gave me was for 24 months. And that to me was just a red flag, and I didn't trust her after that, right? And then I went the other way, where my intuition said, hey, do this. So what happens is that even though I did a couple of rounds of chemo because I was scared to death before I did the praying thing, those rounds of chemo I did pretty much wiped out my immune system. Totally wiped it out. And even though I was in remission, 6 months to the day I was diagnosed, I was in remission. The first 4 years after the remission, I was sick 10 to 12 months out of the year. 10 to 12 months with various illnesses. And then it kind of hit rock bottom when 6 years after the remission, I ended up bedbound, homebound, with various infections and open wounds growing on my body the size of my hand. Every couple of weeks, another one would come up, another one come up, another one come up. I literally went through over 100,000 bandages a year for 8 years while this was happening. And I didn't know what was going on, because I followed through with the Lord when he says, hey, take this route, stop chemo, take the holistic route, do the vitamin C's, and which I was doing, and remission in 6 months. So I didn't understand how I happened to get bedbound and being sick. I didn't understand what was going on at this point. Then I realized that, well, it took me a long while. In the time that I was sick and bedbound and home health care was coming, to the 4th year after I got sick, I had both my parents and 14 family friends transition to, I try not to say they died. I used to say that, but I don't believe in death anymore. I don't think people die. I think since we're a spiritual body in a physical form, there's no death. Our physical form dies, but our spirit and our soul still lives on. So I don't say death and dying anymore. I just say both my parents and 14 family friends transitioned back to the spiritual form in a 15-month stretch. And I was left alone in my parents' house with my mom's service dog, who could tell my mom when she was going to have a seizure. But still, then home health had to come in a lot more. And then I just made the decision, there's something else going on here. It's just something else. Why am I not getting better? Why am I in such excruciating pain? I can't even wear clothes. I couldn't even sit down to go to the bathroom because I had open wounds all over my tummy. And I couldn't sit down, and they're literally all over my body, from my knees up all the way through my chest. On my back, on my front, everywhere you could imagine. There were these open wounds. Weekly and sometimes daily trips to the wound care clinic. And it was gut-wrenching. And I just couldn't figure it out until I did figure it out.
Sometimes what we think we're meant to be doing isn't exactly what the divine has in mind. We just need a little shift, a moment to be still and start asking questions of the God within us. Remember Luke 17:21? The kingdom of God is within us? The kingdom of God is within us? That's exactly what I did. As soon as I decided to start a new journey assisting others on their healing path, all the wounds which had been with me for years cleared up in a matter of weeks. Weeks! I wish I knew then what I know now. But those bumps in the road led me right here to you. Just note that if you stop fighting, stop arguing, stop complaining, and stop judging your pain and suffering, and instead see it as God sees it, just an experience, everything can start to get better. Then the divine shows up front and center to direct us again, most likely down a new path you never saw coming. At least that was my experience. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this space with me. I truly appreciate you for showing up today. So I'll ask you again, what are you ready to discover about yourself today on your own journey? Let me know in the comments.